I knew every single thing that I did not want. But when you asked me what I did want, I did not know the answer. And then one day it just dawned on me, like, that's not possible. How do you, if you know what you don't want, then you know what you do want. It's that simple. If you're saying no to something, that means that you're saying yes to something. And it's just a simple switch of perspective. It's a switch of how you think. What's good, ladies, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Salandria if you are new here, and this channel is the Sacred Portal Oracle. And today I just wanted to share with you guys some of the things that I've been going through, I've been experiencing on this beautiful journey called life. Getting back in alignment with, the feminine energy, and just with myself before even feminine energy, simply just with myself. So this past week has been a week for me. Like, I like my life to stay real cool, calm, collected, kosher. And if anybody comes into my life with added drama and stress and anything, like, I'm immediately looking for the exit button. Like, how can I get rid of this thing, this person, this problem, this whatever, because I just don't like the pressure that I feel from other people coming into my field with their own pressure. I understand life brings pressure, but learn how to deal with it, boo. So it's just been a lot of like outside pressures and then random inside pressures. Like, I just found out my license was suspended for something that happened like 2 or 3 years ago. Crazy. I'm just like, what is going on? And these type of things are just not that super normal for me. But what it has been prompting me to do, I wanted to say challenging, and it is a challenge, but I'm going to say the prompt, the intuitive prompt that I have been receiving is all of my life, throughout this whole entire spiritual journey, throughout this whole entire journey of trying to be more sovereign, trying to follow my flow more, and just getting more in touch with like the ease and the pleasure parts of myself. Throughout this whole entire journey, the one thing that I have been doing is saying no. I knew every single thing that I did not want. But when you asked me what I did want, I did not know the answer. And then one day it just dawned on me, like, that's not possible. How do you, if you know what you don't want, then you know what you do want. It's that simple. If you're saying no to something, that means that you're saying yes to something. And it's just a simple switch of perspective. It's a switch of how you think. So all of this time I had been thinking like, no, I don't want this. No, I don't want that. No, I don't want this. And I've been dealing with the world as no, but I wasn't bringing in the yes. So I'm just walking around a constant no, 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 no. And I'm wondering why I keep hitting these walls of no, 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 no. And it's like, well, what happens when you switch to a yes, 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 yes? And I'm literally not going to lie. I'm not going to flex. I moved into a yes, 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 yes. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful. There was clarity. There was creativity. There was downloads. There was, once again, clarity. It's like, okay, once I started saying yes to the things that I did want to experience and allowing myself to have those things, I immediately began to see movement. But then it started getting a little crazy. So I think what happened is I like basically, and I was only saying yes for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. I immediately ran into my barrier. I immediately ran into my blockage. Like, it's so funny. The moment that I started saying yes to what I desired, like I said, I got the clarity and all of this beautiful stuff. But then I also, like, old things and old people started to come back. And I think they were here to trigger. When I say old, I mean like family things started coming up. Just things that I thought I had grew out of began to come back. And so what I started to realize was these things are old triggers. Like, this is where there are certain, I don't want to say wounds, but like discomforts. This is certain places where I have certain discomforts and I don't move past this place. I dance around it, but I never go through it. So it's like, as I'm opening up, I can only open up as much as I can handle, right? Before something comes up for me to shut down. And so it was like the moment that I started opening up, the things that typically come for me to shut down sprang up. And it's like, oh my God, I gotta say yes through this thing. I have to say yes through this thing. It's like the scariest feeling. Like, I can't even lie to you. It's the scariest feeling, craziest feeling, but like I've never felt so in alignment with myself. I've never felt so proud of myself. I've never felt so trusting of myself, because typically when I would run into these blockages, first thought, something's wrong. I did something wrong. I'm not doing something right. The universe is not happy with me. Like, all of this foolishness. The thing is always in your alignment. The thing is always working in your favor. Once you like hammer in that belief, then you have space. I don't know, my eyes bother me. Then you have the space to like move around the foolishness, because all of these situations, circumstances, problems, issues that are coming into our life, just look at them as opportunities to move through more blockages, to allow more things into your energy, your field, into your life. So if you're saying yes, the things that you were saying no to, easy things for you to say that you're no longer, okay. If you're saying yes, then you're also saying no to something else. And so I feel like these things just come back up to, you know, is it a yes or is it a no? Is it a yes or is it a no? Because you're saying yes and you're opening, but energetically you're still clenching onto this thing. So if you're saying yes, it's going to bring up to you what you are clenching in order to let that thing go. And so that has been a huge experience, I'll say, for me this week. And the next thing that it brought me into was, what is my relationship with support? How do I feel that I have been supported? What has been supporting me? Who has been supporting me all this time? What type of support do I feel like I have been getting? Am I fully supported? Like, all of these questions started to come up for me. And this is also tied to family, you know what I'm saying? And I just realized, like, true faith, or like, yeah, I'll say that, true faith, true living in flow, true, like, really trusting in the divine, trusting in God, comes from you knowing that God is supporting you. Okay, so your support is not coming from your man. Your support is not coming from your job. Your support is not coming from your parents. Your support is not coming. It's not coming from anything that is physically supporting you, is not necessarily coming from there, because source, God, the divine, is what has supplied that thing to you. So truthfully, your source is coming from the divine. So if you're ever in a state where you need something, where you're in need of support, and the people around you are not capable of supporting you the way that you need to be supported, that's okay. That's okay, because they are not the end all be all of your support. Your support goes higher than them. Your support is everything. Your support is the divine. So I started doing some research on this, you know, just on the concept, you know, God is my supply, all of this stuff. And it just like hit me. Just the idea, the knowing that God, the divine, this higher power exists. It's not necessarily like this higher power is going to do a thing. It's just the fact that it is makes it happen. Does that make sense? Let me understand. Let me see if I could say that another way. I just want to make sure that that's hitting home for you. Like, it's not like God is going to do this thing for me. Because God exists, because the divine exists, this thing is 100% capable of happening. It just is capable of happening, because there is an infinite, because there is more, because there is a divine, because of divinity, there is more for me. So because you told me no, or because you told me I had to do it this other way, I'm not subject to that. I'm not limited to that, because there's a such thing as God, because there's a such thing as the divine. And when you walk in that faith, that is how, when you walk in that faith, when you say yes to what it is that you desire, that is how you end up aligning with the things that you want to experience in your life. But it's not going to come from any You may have your synchronicities along the path, but I know for me, the point that I'm at is like the point of no return. You know what I'm saying? So there are points on the journey where there's no evidence. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to say the numbers stop, because the numbers are still coming, but all of the bombardment of the synchronicities and the alignments and like, that's just the way of life now. You know what I'm saying? If I were really to stop and think about every single synchronicity I see, I would just be falling down a synchronicity rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? At this point, you are in alignment, and the way that your life just keeps on aligning is, hello, you are in alignment. Okay? And so trust yourself and trust that. And most importantly, trust in your relationship with the divine. Like, that is so important. And everybody does not understand that concept. If you understand the concept, if you can grasp it, if you can hold it, if you've done it, if you've experienced it, then this your type of content. This is where you need to be. But everybody's not going to understand that. It's difficult. Like, even as a person who has experienced it, who understands the concept, who is actively doing it, it is a difficult pose to hold. It is a difficult pose to hold, okay? So this is not something that you like run around talking to your friends and family about. If they're not on this wavelength, don't do it, because it's too easy to get knocked off of the wavelength. I know that's the experience that I've had. It's been too easy to get knocked off of this wavelength for me. So I'm learning, close your mouth and open your heart and keep your mind and your heart and keep everything aligned with just where you want to go. Have whatever conversations need to be had. Do what you can. Don't overexert yourself, but keep yourself in your yes. So that's something that I really want you to do today. Like today, tomorrow, whatever. I want you to get in your journal and just, what is like the number one thing that you are saying no to? And if you're saying no, your soul inwardly, you know the yes. Allow yourself the access to the yes. Because that's another thing that we do. We don't allow ourselves to have what we want because it doesn't fit the limitation of the world that we're experiencing now. So like, based off of where I come from, based off of who I have been, who I've associated with, how I've associated myself, who am I to want that? Who am I to desire that? I experienced that a lot. So I would be like, I don't know what I want. I mean, I know what I don't want, but I don't know what I want. Like, I just don't know. That is a bold face. A bold face. Lie, honey. Like, that's just not the truth. I'm sorry to say it. That's just not the truth. I have some cards here and I just feel called, oh my God, I can't even talk. I just feel called to just shuffle and pull and see what comes up. But yes, you need to be focusing on what is your yes, and every day you need to be saying yes to it. So even if you're in a predicament where you're in a place that is a no for you, like for me, my job is a no. But while I'm at work, okay, rev it up then. That's crazy. But while I'm at work, I need to be saying yes to what I want. So I had to learn how to switch that. And that wasn't the easiest thing for me to do. Like, while I'm there, it's an absolute screaming no. So if it's a screaming no, then it's also a screaming yes. So what is the yes? Okay, I want to make content. All right, so then the content ideas start flowing. So I got something to do when I get home. You know what I'm saying? Or if it's a screaming no, like, I just don't want to go to work. I want to stay home today. You know what I'm saying? And you just have to do that. Physical body, victory, and unconditional love. We really have to. This is a time where, ooh, this is my girl at the bottom. Pleasure. Pleasure, baby. Oh, so pleasureful. So this was not supposed to turn into a message, but I guess it's turning into a message. This is a time where we really have to be paying attention to our bodies. What do we desire within our body? Because the mind has just been running amok. If you're not controlling that thing, then I wouldn't go with that thing. When you finally understand exactly what your mind is and how thoughts are things, thought, just because you think it doesn't mean that it belongs to you, and you are the power to control the thought. Can't necessarily stop the thought. It takes so much energy to stop the thought. When you can grasp, understand, and live in the power to pick and choose, cherry pick the thoughts that get to live for you and the thoughts that don't, then I think that's when you can use that more. And that's the whole purpose of affirmation, so that you learn how to, you're basically cherry picking what it is that you want to experience in your life, because the tongue gives life. So, but this is telling us that we've really got to listen to our bodies. And I feel like for the people who are on the same wavelength as me, for the people who are on the same path, is a challenge. I don't want to say the word hard. I'm trying to get out of the word hard, but I'll say that it is a challenge because I'm up for a challenge. I can handle a challenge. But this is about connecting to the earth, and like, we're doing well. It's about your pleasure. It's about trusting in the divine, and it's about staying grounded and focusing on that yes, focusing on that full body yes. The more that you can do that, it's not always going to be daisies and roses. It's just not, liberation. The more you do that, the more liberated you will become. The doubts and fears will still come up. You don't believe anymore that they are you. Is that not what I just said with divine flow at the bottom of the deck? Oh, this is my deck right here. Eventually, one sublime desire takes precedence over all others, to follow the Tao, the divine flow, at all costs. And I feel like when we begin to listen to our bodies and what it is that our bodies are desiring, from what our bodies are really like internally calling, not in like this addicted, habitual type of manner, but like in the understanding the true essence of the body. When we begin to flood ourselves with the energy of unconditional love, when we begin to love our body, when we begin to love who we are, and go for growth and live in our pleasure, then we are liberated into divine flow. And it may take some time. It may be a little difficult. The doubts and fears still come up. You don't believe anymore that they are you. In order to get there, you got to go through there. You understand what I'm saying? And then we got receiving at the bottom of the deck. Every day it becomes easier to receive the highest divine plan and to trust my inner guidance. So if you are struggling right now with what it is that you desire, I want you to know that you do know. And I want you to take note to yourself whenever you are resisting something, because you know when you're in resistance, if you're saying no. If you're saying no, you are in resistance. You are in receptive, open, receiving mode when you are saying yes. So an easy way to live in the receptive mode is to simply, instead of saying no to what you don't want, begin to say yes to what you do want. And you do know that if you know one end of the spectrum, you know the opposite end of the spectrum, okay? And the way that you know that is by what is it that feels good in your body, not what makes sense to your mind, because your mind has been conditioned. What feels good in your body? That's where the yes lies. If it feels good in your body, that is the direction that you go. That's what you're saying yes to. And that's all you have to do. That's the first step. That's all you have to do is just say yes. Put the yes inside of your body. And then trust that the divine will support you, and that man is not created to, man is moved by God to support you. So it's not man's decision. It's not the job's decision. It's not your parents' decision. It's not your man's decision to support you and this person has to do this thing. It's not their decision. Your source is God. Your source is the divine. The divine is the one who is supporting you. And because the divine supports you, the divine is moving through people, places, and things. The divine is moving through space and time for you. Why? Because you are love. Because you are the experience. The divine is experiencing through you. You are co-creating. You are working together. Why wouldn't it? I like to call it. I don't like to think of it as a person. But why wouldn't that energy be working in your favor? When it is your favor, it's the energy of favor. So why wouldn't it be working in your favor? I'm going to just see what's the last card that wants to come out here. And then I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Love. We have to start learning how to, with energetic clearing at the bottom. I've done a video on this before. I'll link it, but it's about when it comes to the healing journey, this needs to be a separate video. Where I've come on my healing journey, before it was all about healing, fixing. And now I'm at the point where I realize nothing is wrong with me. You know what I'm saying? I've had distortions that need to be resolved. And the best way to resolve those is to provide love, give love to those distortions. So this card says, divine source is the idea that no person, place, or thing is your salvation, only love itself. What was I just saying to y'all? No person, place, or thing is your salvation, only love itself. That's why. Love is your salvation. So when you say yes and you are in love and you are believing that source is your supply, that source is the one who supports you, it will move. People, places, and things, mountains, rivers, oceans, it will move it. Energetic clearing, anything that tells you opposite. During crisis, the Holy One herself may be emptying you of fear and attachments, preparing you to receive her luminous plan. Don't worry, this is a message for me because I've been going through it a little bit, but I'm holding on. Barely, mama's got a lot to learn. It's heavy. That's that Adele song if you didn't know, but your girl been holding on, okay? And I can understand now it's an energetic clearing. That's a message for me to just keep staying in love. So I just wanted to hop on. I wanted to chat with y'all. If you're feeling how I'm feeling, drop it in the comments below. Like the video, share, subscribe, all the beautiful YouTube stuff. But this is where I want this channel to go more towards living in the divine, living in flow, living in your divine flow, living in your own personal purpose. And I'm putting things together to help you do that. And I'm kind of moving away from the tarot and into more tangible, aligned ways for us to do that using astrology and all these other wonderful divination tools that we have out here. So I appreciate you guys so much for watching, for tuning in, for rocking with me. If you've been rocking with me, that's all I got for you.